Hello, my friends. For today's reading, we have the starfish as a significator. Sorry. So, you are my starfish friends today. And of course, you look like you are the water element. Beautiful, alluring, superficial, or shallow. Ouch. The starfish is a natural and exquisite beauty, mesmerizing to all. Being around someone with starfish energy is a thrill, like you've been put under a spell of divinity itself. The problem is, these creatures have been reliant on how they look and what other people think of them for so long that they may have forgotten their deeper callings. When this card appears, it's important to ask, am I being swayed by outward appearances? What dreams have I put aside to please others? So I think the starfish can be very dependent on what other people think. And that is an unfortunate trait to have. They are known for their brittleness and how easy it is to break their arms off, right? So yes, they can regrow their arms, which is wonderful. But this is not a place you want to stay. All right. When in balance, uplifting, artistic, expressive. When out of balance, gossips, feels empty. So there's definitely a lack of substance here. To bring into balance, positive friends. Honestly, I would say grow a backbone. You need to develop some independence. But it's not that there aren't wonderful qualities that go with being a starfish person. But you want to be a fully rounded person, a whole person. So you should, I hope, aspire to more. All right. Now we're moving on to your tea leaf cards, which are here to tell you whether or not this is your reading. Bird perched, waiting for news, package or letter. So what are you waiting for? Well, you have the boat here, so money or property through an inheritance, winning, or windfall. So you seem pretty confident something good is coming your way. Now, plenty of material things, and a distant friend is thinking of you. Perhaps a younger woman, dealings or relationship with a younger woman, and something significant about March. So, March may be a big month for you, may have been a big month for you. Maybe it will be in the future. But at the heart of all of this, we have spiritual love. The problem with spiritual love and being a starfish person is that the two are not going to go together well. The starfish person tends to be overly dependent on the opinions of others, and spiritual love challenges social norms, family programming, friend groups are probably not going to be understanding of it. It's the nature of the beast. So if you think that's what's happening, I think it is telling you need to grow your own backbone. In fact, it's probably forcing you to grow your own backbone. So you may not be in a very comfortable place right now. All right. In spite of expecting some really good news of some sort, it does look like materially you are in a good position. Probably you are in no contact with your person, the person on your mind. I shouldn't say your person, they probably aren't your person. Not if you're no contact. That is important to remember. Someone who is in no contact with you is not your person. They may be the person on your mind, but they have not made any commitment to you. Unless you have committed to a long-distance relationship, but I don't think that's what's going on. All right. Why are you here? Looks like there's a reason I mentioned that there's no commitment. Third party. So there is another person involved, someone else's influence. This could be a love triangle, or it could be some other person who is trying to, well, just, you know, like I said, spiritual love is not understood by other people. It is not acceptable. Does not fit into society's expectations, standards, rules, whatever you want to call it, which would be very challenging for a starfish person. Maybe as the starfish person is who you're concerned with and not you yourself. I don't know. All right. So we have Get Cracking. I just look at these cards and they have a range of messages on them, and sometimes I feel drawn to one message over the others. So I have this Get Cracking is what's really catching my attention today. I am not clear on what this archer is trying to say at all. Perhaps making a plan, being focused. Implement a strategy, it says. Something about this third person is causing provoking action, or the desire to do something. Uh-huh. So on top of this third person, we have yarn, tangled up, problems. I can easily see that. So you feel like this third person is causing a lot of difficulties and that it's a complicated situation. There's a lot going on. Iceberg more than meets the eye, so it may be that you are underestimating how much is going on. A lot of it is not visible. It's interesting we have yes. So, although there may be a desire for success, and I do think there's this implementing a strategy, you know, it's yeah, looking for a way out of this mess. And status, which would definitely be a concern of the starfish person. Who am I reading for? Am I reading for the starfish person, or am I reading for someone who is involved or concerned with or thinking about a starfish person? Maybe both. Anyway, so yes, forced action, which is going to mess up this whole status thing. And yet, there's true north, discovery, life path, finding your way. Again, with making a plan. So the chandelier, while it can represent status, can also represent illumination, of course, because it is a light fixture. So what is it illuminating for you? Ooh. A desire to go public, be heard, to be bold, to speak up. Is the starfish person strong enough for that? Or are they going to... I see this as complacency. Staying where you're at because there's a certain level of status, comfort, Maybe this starfish person is well-to-do. Maybe they're just comfortable. So these two cards are different. So this is, some real integrity here. Internal integrity. I suppose it's always internal. But this is all about making it public. Being heard, being seen. Publish, amplify, broadcast, wider audience, speak up, increase visibility, bold, major announcement. Maybe it'll break up that iceberg. It's interesting. So it's aimed right through that iceberg to the third person. All right. Enough of that. Let's talk about where your focus needs to be. Where does your focus need to be? All right, I'm going with the archetype cards. Oops. Oh, crap. Seriously? Well, anything else? See if we can get another one. Yes. Oh, wow. Awkward. All right. It's more than enough, I think. Where your focus needs to be is 17, the lover. 22, the creator. 71, Eros, love. And 36, the forest. Interesting. Okay, so starting off with the lover. 17. The lover, the heart, the beloved, the devoted. Pulsing through the heart of the lover is gratitude. The lover appreciates and experiences the world through the senses, reveling in beauty, song, art, music, sense, and sensuality. This energy awakens at the tip of our tongue when we taste the sweetness of honey, kiss a lover, or speak gentle words to a child. The lover lingers in foreplay, aroused not by the getting there, but by the slow merging of self and other. This energy is usually experienced for short periods of time, as in order to feel it, we must be fully present and awake, with no expectations or rules about what should be. Ooh, wow. Gotcha, starfish. Sorry. Rather, the lover is in awe of what the world presents, reveling in the glorious details, grateful to savor every last drop of life's offerings. So, a love of life and a willingness to be without expectations and ignoring the expectations of others. I think it's really interesting you got the lover and Eros. We'll see. All right, 22, the creator. The artist, the alchemist, the innovator. The creator, the first archetype in the trio of existence, is not intimidated by darkness or by lack. They know that from the void, creation inevitably emerges. With meager, minimal, and outlandish materials, the creator reveals a new image. They make the empty room resonate with healing sounds. They generate bounty from the seed that others tossed away. Though generative, this archetype annihilates preconceived notions of what is possible, leaving unexpected openings in the wake of its destruction. Okay, this sounds a bit towery too. Okay, the creator does this first by being absolutely present to what is, not imagining or wishing that things were different. And second, trusting that a force greater than themselves awaits constant collaboration with each human soul. Whether we call it nature, God, goddess, Shakti, or divinity, it remains nameless. It is the creator's lifelong companion. Okay. When light, curious, playful, open, surprising. When dark, loses spark, feels burdened. To increase your creator energy, ward off jadedness at all cost. Recommit to childlike curiosity and nix the rules. All right, so we've got 2 cards about breaking the rules so far. The creator is naturally attractive and coveted as its energy zings with possibility. You can feel when a creator type enters the room. All eyes land on them. So remember, this is what your focus is supposed to be. Wow. Love, change, gratitude. All right, 36, the forest. Oh my gosh, it just flipped open to the forest. Okay, the woods, the thicket, the jungle. Consider for a moment your earliest memory of the forest. It's likely it included all the mythic dynamics of this archetypal space. A little fear, a little enchantment, perhaps losing your way, perhaps discovering a secret mystical treasure. Such is the magic of the forest. It requires first that you enter it, and then that you get lost within it. You may think there is a path to lead you straight through, but soon enough you'll be on what is known as the pathless path. There are tricksters here, dense foliage and entanglement. But equally present are the glimmers of fairy light and friends amongst the trees. You're on an adventure now, and there's no turning back. So embrace the dim light and the moving shadows. Whether literal or imaginal, brave the forest and get lost, getting found. I think you're starting or being asked to start an examination of the self, which is scary and feels like the forest. When light, magic abounds, childlike wonder, adventure. When dark, concealment, density? Yeah, it says density. Savagery. The hunter, the maiden, the crone, and the shaman make regular appearances in the forest. Don't be surprised if these cards come up together. Let the narrative reveal itself. Well, that didn't work out here. Although you did get the archer, which is interesting. If you get out of the forest without feeling lost, you are only in a little grove of trees. The great archetypal forest requires we spend at least one night frightened for our lives. Okay. Finally, we have Eros. 71. So this is one of the very last cards in the deck. Eros, love as desire, eroticism, sensuality. Okay, we're right back to the lover card. Though Eros can be depicted as unbridled sexuality and eroticism, a more contemplative understanding of this archetypal energy leads us to the root of desire itself. What do we long for? Why are we awakened by love? And you got spiritual love, so that's exactly what's going on for you. What makes us hesitate in the face of intimacy? Eros reconnects us with the primal longing to merge with another human being, nature, music, art, plants, food, or anything that we perceive we are separate from. Eros allows us to momentarily unite. Our heart embraces otherness, and in doing so, we further understand our own. Our life force awakens. This card reveals an inevitable initiation into love's labyrinth. You may find yourself swirling in a new territory of desire and sensuality. Explore the labyrinth with a curious and honest heart, and remember, though the way is circuitous, you are always being led towards its center. When light, passion, playfulness, sexual health. When dark, madness, projection, obsession. Plato reminds us that eros can be experienced as platonic love. It is activated when we witness beauty and truth in the world, when our barriers soften. The Hindu goddess Lalita, she who plays, can help activate eros energy. She is also known as Kameshwari, Empress of Desire. Playfulness and desire. All right. I hope that made sense to you. There's a lot of emphasis on love in this reading. Spiritual love, which is meant to change you, meant to help you grow, become more than you were before, or just to become more whole and resilient. All right, not that the starfish isn't resilient. It can regrow its arms after all. Let's see, where were we? And I am going to be leaving this here, partly because my battery is dying. So I hope that made sense to you and you got something out of it. Have a wonderful day.